I took an art history class. I didn't go one time the entire semester. And then the night before had like a massive panic attack, realizing I needed to learn about like 400 years of art. This was the only graded assignment, was the final. And I remember just absolutely panicking. I took a 30 milligram Adderall for the first time. I'd never taken an Adderall. And just like entered another portal, dude. And just crammed as best as I could. Went through the wildest emotional roller coaster I've ever gone on. Somehow ended up sleeping on my friend's couch. Not sleeping, staring at the wall with my eyes open. Went in and took the exam without sleeping. Ended up getting a C+ on the final.
Unbelievable.
C+ in the class.
Wow.
Tale
what
of the triumph of the human spirit. Welcome back to Oops the Podcast.
All right, lots to unpack here.
I got something for you.
Please. Julio, I don't know where you came up with that idea.
Dude, this guy was a huge turkey.
What is this, Japan? Which is one of the reasons why I hadn't told you about it.
No, and I also just assumed you were saving it for the pod if you were going to tell me.
Yeah.
Which, of course you were.
Oh, yeah. We're back. Oops, the podcast. I'm Francis Ellis. He is Julio Gallerati.
Holding his hand high in the air triumphantly. We are in the dog days of summer. We're letting her rip.
Yep.
We're crushing it.
That's it.
We hope you guys are crushing it. It's the time to crush it.
Oh,
across
is it?
America and beyond. I believe it is the time to crush it.
This is the time of year where I really envy teachers.
Yeah, but dude, I feel like most teachers I know have summer hustles.
I guess that's true.
So like,
what do they do?
Summer school, fucking whatever.
That would be hell. If you're a teacher.
My dad does summer school. Also.
All summer?
I don't know specifically, but like he's typically picking up like extra classes and stuff just because it's like a solid, I think, addition to
Does he grade more leniently in the summer? It was kind of an open secret at school that
really,
if you wanted a really easy couple of credits, a lot of athletes would lighten their load. Like they'd go down to, 3 classes in one semester or something. I don't know what they would do.
I think my dad considers himself a fair grader.
Yeah.
To begin with.
Yeah.
And so I think that I don't know if he's easier in the summer or not.
Gotcha.
I don't think he's super tough.
Yeah, there were some flat A's to be found in summer school at Harvard, and that was so hard to do during the year. During like the regular curriculum,
the regular season.
Yeah. Man, I've told you this. I only got one flat A.
You only got one A the whole time you were at school?
That was the highest. It was an A is a 4.0. There's no A pluses.
I know, dude.
Well, I didn't know. I didn't know if you knew.
That's a thing. That's like a very standard.
Is it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't saying that to like.
No, I know. But 4.0 is an A. So like, there's nothing like.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I got one. Out of the, I don't know, I guess I took 4 classes. I took 8 classes a year. So I took 32 classes, only one A.
What was the class?
It was a literature seminar on Robert Louis Stevenson, taught by Matthew Kaiser, who was like this rock star professor.
What was his whole thing?
Robert Louis Stevenson?
No, I know him, but the professor.
Kaiser was this young, gay, English literature department, rock star professor. He was flamboyant, brilliant. He taught a very big, popular English class called Lit and Sex, which kind of read almost like pornographic novels, but that had been written over the last 100 years. And then he also taught crime and horror and Victorian literature, which I took, which was a lot of like, I think we read Jekyll and Hyde in that, as well as some other kind of horror books.
Was he a guy who you tried to take multiple classes with because it was a fun?
Yeah. And he would teach one seminar and one lecture class each semester. So the lecture classes would be highly, a lot of kids would take those. I think he was like the highest enrolled professor in the English department.
Oh, wow. Nice.
So like his lecture classes would have 400. Well, no, it was just, I don't think there was a limit, but there'd be like 400 kids in those classes.
Oh, okay.
But then his seminars would be capped at like 12 kids. And I lotteried into one of those.
Oh, nice.
And got to take it. And it was so amazing. because that's where you had like, it was just you and 11 other kids and one of the top professors at Harvard. And I got a flat A in that class. And I was thinking back recently on the achievements of my life. You know, the things that I thought I was most proud of in my life. That one grade in that one class meant more to me looking back on my life than graduating from the university.
That's awesome, man. What year did you accomplish this?
Junior year. My junior year was my best academic year for sure. I had a bunch of A minuses.
Yeah.
And then too many B pluses.
A lot of B pluses.
A lot of B pluses were, that was the ice cream cone. I was like a soft serve swirled ice cream cone.
Do you remember your final GPA?
Yeah.
What was it?
I think I had a 3.37.
It's pretty good.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure that once you're like applying to law school, that makes your life slightly more difficult.
Yeah, it didn't help.
Yeah. Do you need like to get to like the top ones, even from Harvard? You probably, what do you need? Like a 3.5?
Dude, at least.
Really?
At least. I think you need a lot more, like a 3.7 or higher.
Really? Even coming from Harvard?
I don't think they give a fuck that you went to Harvard, is what I learned. I thought that having a 3.3 from Harvard might mean more than, you know, a 3.5 or something from some other school. And
it has to.
It doesn't.
But maybe a 3.5 from Harvard, though, means more than a 3.7 at somewhere else.
Could be. I think what I learned is that everybody that's applying to these top law schools has a 3.94 GPA anyway. Right. Regardless of where they went.
Right.
So they can pick.
Well, you need to if you didn't go somewhere really good, or you don't have a shot.
Yeah, but they also all the kids that were applying to Harvard Law School, Stanford Law, Yale, they all had 3.94 GPAs from Harvard.
Right.
Yale,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
undergrad.
You need to have that. If you're not coming from one of those places, you literally absolutely need it to even have
correct
a breath.
So those schools, those law schools, those graduate schools can determine their entire incoming class from a pool of students who have achieved summa cum laude degrees. And therefore, I as I've said to you before, I suspect the admissions committee at the law schools I applied to legitimately held up my application and laughed together.
I doubt that, dude. That's a funny image.
I think that yes, I think they laminated it and put it on the wall like a folded $2 bill at some diner, as if to say this was our dumbest, lowest idiot that we've had.
They sort of pat their dribbling genitalia.
I genuinely wonder how much time they spent actually considering me. I think about it. Like, was I an instant write-off? Or did they bother to read the personal statement?
You're probably in a pile.
I'm in a pile.
You're in a pile.
Yeah.
You probably, you maybe didn't make it too far, but you probably made it past the like red light, green light game. Did you watch
of course,
Squid Games?
Squid Games.
You made it past red light, green light.
I might have done. You know, it crushed me. It crushed me that
to not get into where you want.
Not only to not get in, but to be rejected on a piecemeal basis.
If you had
like you get the rejection letters from each of the schools. There wasn't like hey, bad news, friend. The top 15 have rejected you.
Yeah, I know.
It's like every day a letter would come telling me I sucked.
So if you had gotten in somewhere better, do you think there'd be a much higher likelihood that you would have stuck with it? Was morale just low that you kind of had to go where you got in and type of thing?
Yeah, man, I've said it many times. I think the world failed me towards my happiness.
So yeah, and you know, at the end of the day too, if you had really excelled, it doesn't matter if you went to a pretty good law school still. Like if you had excelled, you would have been able to get all the jobs still, you know?
That's true. And also, if I had killed it in my first year at Fordham, I might have tried to transfer to a Columbia or something like that, or an NYU.
Yeah, because I don't know how. I'm by no means an expert on this, but to the law people I've talked to say that once you're in law school, it's like very clear what the probability you have of getting which job, just depending on where you rank at which school. If you're top of the class anywhere, you're like cooking.
I just agreed. I do think that if you're, it's sort of like an inverse to what we were just talking about, where you got to be in the top 2% at, say, a Brooklyn law school, which is a fine law school,
right,
in order to get that same starting position at Ogilvy and Mather, or Davis, Polk, and Wardwell, some of these super white collar law firms in New York. Whereas maybe if you're in the top third of the class at Columbia, you can go to any one of those places.
Got it.
I don't know the answer.
I've heard,
but
I think some degree of that is accurate. I wasn't a great student in college. I turned it around, but it was too late. Like I ended up doing well the last 3 or 4 semesters, but and I had to I had a couple credits to catch up on, and I loaded it, and I really had a solid last few semesters, but those first couple semesters were just like.
There
was no hope.
Did you find it hard or uninteresting?
Both. I didn't. Yeah, sort of like taking the kind of required whatever. It was really hard to get into some of that shit.
The core curriculum stuff. Man, that shit killed me.
It was terrible. I also just wasn't equipped with the skills to pace my work. I was used to kind of just doing it the night before, and in college, the workload was just too significant and substantial to do it that way. So I kind of learned that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, I found that the single thing that really helped improve my grades more than anything else was learning which classes to choose.
Right. But just from the standpoint of trying to get good grades.
Yeah. And also I chose classes that wouldn't allow me to skip lectures as much.
Interesting.
Which meant that I had smaller classes where the teachers would notice if you weren't there, and therefore you had to go. Mm-hmm. And by going, you learned more, which made you more prepared for the exams and the papers, and forced you to do the homework. Right. It was just I started out thinking, okay, I want to choose the easiest classes, and I asked some of the upperclassmen on the lacrosse team, what are some of the easier classes, and they pointed me towards stuff that they had taken in years past, which was stuff that I had no interest in. I remember I took, it was like a Greek literature class or something, Greek heroes.
So did the maneuver not work?
Yeah, because it was so dumb and so boring and the class was huge, so you didn't have to go to lecture, and therefore you didn't go, which meant that basically when it came time to study for the exam, you were basically starting from scratch at the beginning of the whole year.
Right. Yeah, I took French 1, second semester sophomore year, first semester junior year, just for the sake of because I had already taken 3 levels of it, and somehow that didn't I could do it still. Yeah. I to just try to get an A, and not realizing class was 4 days a week, and and I ended up getting a B-. It was the stupidest maneuver I've ever done.
Those intro classes where the college tries to catch you up on stuff you should have learned in high school were killers. I took Math XA. Math XA was the most beginner math course. It was basically calculus in one semester, but taught at basically the AP calculus level, even though I had taken AP calculus, but I didn't really understand it in high school. Mm-hmm. So I took Math XA thinking it would be easy since I'd already learned it. And it was 4 days a week, and it was impossible. And it was the worst grade I got at Harvard.
How would you get?
A flat C.
Nice.
Dude. The only non-B grade that I got.
Well done.
And it stands out on my transcript like a goddamn positive herpes test.
Attaboy. The nice boil.
I'm ashamed of it.
Dude. I successfully stopped taking math for the rest of my life after junior year of high school, pre-calculus part 1.
Wow, that's early.
I never took a math class again.
That's early to cut the cord to numbers.
It. No more math for me.
How did you manage to do that?
So I specifically found a track in college that didn't require you to take math or a language.
Yeah, but you mentioned the core curriculum. Wasn't that intended to provide to require a more balanced education, which would
yes
obligate you towards taking some quantitative reasoning courses?
No requirement.
None? You didn't have a QR requirement?
Nope.
So what was your major?
Something stupid. communication studies.
Okay.
I had like a minor track that like wasn't official because I didn't want to take the requirements. But like Hillary thinks it's funny that I tell people that I identify with my minor.
What was your minor?
I don't answer the question. I say I identify with my minor. I didn't even have a minor. I didn't minor, but I say I identify with my. It's like the biggest load of shit.
What was the track?
It was like an international relations.
Okay.
And I took a bunch of grad courses. It was like super fun. Really enjoyed them.
But I get that though. I minored in English, in literature, and I would say that has contributed more to my career than certainly my major.
Well, I thought that was your major.
My major was was government.
Oh, really?
With a focus on the Middle East.
Mm.
And then my minor was English.
Interesting.
But the English was I focused on that towards the back half of college. So it was sort of more recent.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also at a time when I was already a better student, understood how to take the classes, and had started to enjoy the education.
Mm-hmm.
So all my best grades came in English. Yeah. And now, being a writer and like someone who speaks for a living and corrects people's grammar all the time, that has definitely proven to lend itself more.
Helpful. Fuck, I had a thought and I don't remember, but it's okay. Dude, yeah, you love to see it. Contribute.
Ryan, what did you study in college?
Marketing. So I was in the School of Business.
Nice.
And then I didn't get to do a minor because my first year of school, I was in the School of Communications. So once I transferred to the School of Business, all of those classes became my electives. So I didn't get to do any electives in college.
That's too bad.
Yeah, I just didn't think about education as what I want. I tried to think about it practically, which didn't make sense. So it's like, oh, the communication school is really good at your school. You should do that. Okay. Didn't even know what that meant. Didn't know what that was. Didn't know what jobs could come out of it. I just was a boy amongst transitioning men. I didn't know shit, dude. And
I was a boy.
I wasn't ready. It makes me really believe in the sort of gap year system that they have abroad, like in the UK, like you take a year off.
Gap year?
Yeah.
How did you say it?
Gap year.
Oh.
There was some funny viral sketch about gap year. Oh my gap year.
Okay.
Whatever.
All
so
right. Yeah.
I believe in that because to your point, by the end of college is when I started to kind of get interested in learning. And before that, it was just trying to figure out how not to fail classes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I don't know if I've talked about this, but I took an art history class. I didn't go one time the entire semester. And then the night before had a massive panic attack, realizing I needed to learn about 400 years of art. And there wasn't a single, this was the only graded assignment was the final.
Oh,
I hadn't gone to class. 100% of my grade was based on the final.
Had you done there was no homework?
Zero. Something happened where they decided to make them to get rid of the midterm in the middle of the semester and just have the final. And I remember just absolutely panicking. I took a 30 milligram Adderall for the first time. I'd never taken an Adderall. Took a 30 milligram Adderall and just entered another portal, dude. And just crammed as best as I could. Went through the wildest emotional roller coaster I've ever gone on. Somehow ended up sleeping on my friend's couch. Not sleeping, staring at the wall with my eyes open after fighting with my girlfriend, on part of the come down. It was an extended release. Went in and took the exam without sleeping and then was up till 3 p.m. after that, having not slept. Ended up getting a C+ on the final.
Unbelievable.
C+ in the class.
Wow.
Tale
what
of the triumph
victory.
of the human spirit. But dude, it turned my life around.
Huge victory.
And I discovered Adderall there too, by the way. And I was like, oh wow, we need this.
You lived 6 lifetimes.
We need this.
Over the course of 30 milligrams.
Yeah.
Wow. What does that say about that professor of that course that in one night you managed to achieve a C+ mastery?
Dude, it says something about Adderall, bro, and my brain more than the course. Yeah. It was not easy. It was not an easy final. It was dates, time period, style, medium. You had to know 9 facts about every single thing.
Yeah.
And it was just the most intimidating, fucking crazy attempt.
Was it multiple choice?
No.
It's all open-ended?
Yeah. But no, it wasn't open-ended. It wasn't essay. You had to answer questions, but in the blue book still. So you'd have A through E and you'd have to answer each thing for each fucking thing. It was crazy.
Those blue books, man.
I know.
Even the sight of one of those now sends shivers down my spine.
Yeah, it's not great.
It just makes your hand hurt.
Yeah.
Your hand tighten up from holding the pencil and writing furiously for 2.5 hours.
Oh, dude. Terrible. I'm glad that part of my life's over, but stick with it, kids out there, you know?
Stick with it, kids.
It was definitely, it's a one of the most positive experiences of my life, even though I barely learned anything. But like for other reasons, you know what I mean? It sort of, if you come from a place where you don't have access to different kinds of people from different walks of life, it's hard to sort of like see the possibilities for yourself as far as like who you want to be or who you really are even. So it's a nice eye-opening experience, and it really allowed me to sort of figure my shit out.
So what I learned about BU is that there is a major pocket of Persian wealth there.
Yeah, that's accurate.
What is that? How did that happen? Why did it start? Why are they at BU?
I don't know, but like there's like a big Persian like Jewish population.
Oh.
And they're from like the places where those enclaves sort of exist, like
Constantinople?
No, like LA and like Long Island and New York City.
I was way off with Constantinople.
And I don't know why BU specifically, to be honest. But yeah, there is a big, and I used to hang out with a lot of those kids actually. I actually bumped into one of them on the street today. This guy, Jonathan Shemesh. Nice kid.
Cool. How's he doing?
He's doing good, dude. He's got a couple kids. He's crushing it.
Was he wearing a white linen shirt and a gold chain?
No, but he would definitely be wearing a white linen shirt. I don't know about the gold chain.
Is that something they wear?
I don't know. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I used to hang out with a lot of those kids. They're pretty cool. But it is true. That is true.
You know those shirts that sometimes people from I know Persia is not, I know Iran is not they're not Arab, right? Different ethnicity. But that people from the Arab world wear the shirts that kind of come to their knees. Mm-hmm. I like those.
Oh, those are cool.
I like those a lot.
I'd like for you to
But I'm not allowed to wear it because of cultural appropriation.
I don't think that's true.
If I went there, maybe I could wear it.
They don't. Nobody gives it. No one's gonna give you a hard. Dude, like Middle Eastern people are chill, bro. Like no one's gonna fucking act like you're doing cultural appropriation.
Have you ever seen people from the Middle East dancing?
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It looks like a good time.
We walked by just here in Dumbo. We were walking and down the street, and there was, I don't know if these guys had just come from a wedding or they were like on their way to a wedding, but it was a big group of Arab guys, and they had the music. They had opened all the doors of their car, which were clearly it had a really good sound system, and so they were flooding the street with this Arab music. It was sort of like an Arab techno, and they were dancing together, and boy did it look fun.
You love a good group activity like that.
I mean, they were so unconcerned with how others were perceiving them. They were dressed in wedding attire. They were having the time of their lives, and they were taking turns going into this little circle and doing a kind of hop, hoppa. Yeah, not. I don't think it's hoppa. I think that's.
They go la 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 la.
No, not quite. None of that. But it was just, man, it was really good, and I wanted to join, but I thought, boy, they won't have me.
Well, it would have been weird for you to join for an occasion like that, perhaps.
What if I'd been wearing one of those shirts, those long shirts? It's sort of a little bit like the skateboarding shirts you find in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Nike SB. Is that right? Am I doing that right?
I think that's a brand. That's a brand.
Cool.
Yeah. It's just weird to enter a occasion where everybody is sort of familiar if you're not invited to the party.
I see what you mean by that.
That's sort of. So I think they would be right to not accept you.
Or they would think, look at this guy who is like us, fearless. Here's a new friend who is he's not mocking our culture. He's trying to immerse himself in it. Let's invite him to the wedding. No?
Yeah, maybe.
Probably not. You're right. No, I agree. That was ridiculous.
In the moment, you could certainly work. You know, people drinking and stuff.
I gotta just stay in my lane.
Dude, I saw a movie the other day, and I didn't know it existed, and I really enjoyed it.
What's that?
It's called Thunderstruck. Have you ever seen it?
Is that about some magical phenomenon happens?
With involving Kevin Durant.
Oh. And he switches places with a kid or something?
Yes, essentially.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it Lil Romeo?
No. It's some guy who I don't know. Can you look him up, Brian? His name's something Lombardo. I remember seeing the name.
I'm thinking of Juana Man.
Lil Romeo is in Juana Man?
I think so.
So anyway, this is about, it's, you could probably guess what it's about. The kid wishes he had Kevin Durant's talent. He's a loser at his high school. Everyone makes fun of him. And then he becomes the best player in the league, but at the expense of Kevin Durant, who then becomes terrible.
And remains in the league. So they just swap talent levels?
Yes, basically. So Kevin Durant is just absolutely terrible in like a laughable way. And just like, it's funny. It shows like Shaq and Charles Barkley shitting on him. And it's like, it has all the terrible things that like a children's movie has. But it's clever the way that they set it up. Like you could tell Kevin Durant's people were like, all right, like, because if Kevin Durant never accepts the theory that this kid has taken his talent, his agent is the one who suspects it in the movie. Because if they were to make Kevin Durant this suspicious, now he's chasing down this kid, that doesn't make Kevin Durant look very good, you know?
Yeah, him running after a kid. Yeah.
So like the agent convinces Kevin Durant to like come hang around the school. And then they eventually convince him because the kid shows Kevin Durant that he can specifically do all his moves and stuff. Plus they make the kid turn super arrogant. Once he starts dropping like 50 points a game, he becomes kind of a dick. So you want him to lose the talent.
Uh-huh.
So it's clever the way that they did it. But dude, I Kevin Durant, fantastic acting performance.
Come on. Was he really?
Fantastic.
He's so dry.
He's so cool.
You know how dry he is?
Yeah. He's awesome, dude.
He's got a media presence in that he responds to a lot of trolls on Twitter. I think he's got these burner accounts that he uses to
That's awesome.
defend himself in his own comments.
Oh, that's great.
So he'll tweet something and then people will start hating on him
He's
or
like
whatever.
a comedian, dude.
And then he attacks back at those people. Yeah.
But dude, it's just it's like I can't believe I didn't know that the movie existed. I'm sure it has like a terrible rating or something. Can you check its Rotten Tomatoes or whatever?
Cool.
But dude, if you like Space Jam and you want to get a chuckle out of a movie, I mean, you'll like it ironically for sure, but there are redeeming things about it.
I would have watched it until you spoiled
until I told you the entire movie.
Yeah. Damn it.
Dude, so the father in the movie stands up at one point and he goes like, "Let's go, son." And I was thinking about how nobody really does that anymore. Nobody says, "Let's go. Good job, son."
Really?
People yelling out son, but I could see Francis one day doing that.
Oh.
"Let's go, son. That's my son.
That's my boy.
That's my boy." That was the next scene.
Yeah.
That's my boy right there.
That's my boy.
"Let's go, turtle."
Come on, turtle. Dude, you know what I'm looking forward to is I'll be sitting on the sideline of a soccer game or something, and I'll be with Sierra, and then this couple to our right or someone to our right is next to us, and we turn to them and say, and they're cheering. We're both cheering for the same team, and we say, "Which one's yours?" And they'll say, "Oh, number 14." I'll say, "Oh, nice." And then they say, "How about yours?" And we'll say, number 8 or whatever. And then they'll go, "Oh," because number 8 is like 2.5 feet taller, has, a whole harem of college scouts with clipboards, even though he's only a 6th grader. He's got hairy feet.
He's a mustache.
Yeah, he's just like juiced to the gills. He's already lifting weight. He's like Spike from Little Giants. Our kid. And they'll go, "Oh, your kid's really good." We'll say, "Oh, we just support him. We let him do, he loves it. We're not pushing him because we don't want them to think that the reason he's so determined is because of us. In fact, maybe we're not even really watching the game. Maybe we're kind of walking the dog around the outfield."
I could see you being very involved, like
No.
pulling the coach aside and
No way. No way.
I see you potentially getting very into.
Come on.
being
No way, Jose
parenting.
Cuervo. No
I
way.
can
Not
see
me.
it.
You got the wrong guy.
Look, and you try to be cool about it. You'll be like, look.
The problem is that you typically get these coaches at the youth level who are just totally unaware of how to run the game.
What?
You get parents who just signed up
Mhm.
and I'm going to be too busy with my career to coach the team full time, right?
Are you just gonna help out?
So I'm going to come and then I'm going to be furious that some doofus who, signed up because he had the time is now ruining the game and our team is 500 when we realistically have the talent to be like 9-4.
But what happened to not caring?
Well, it's hard when it's your kid,
That's what I'm saying. I
But-
see you being very involved.
but I will have chosen to be supportive and not over involved.
Mhm. But supportive of your son.
Yes,
Or daughter.
who should be playing more because clearly both my son and daughter are the best player on the field. And yet he's been sitting out, the whole quarter to let the other kid play. Some because the coach is just an idiot and wants everyone to have a good time. But everyone knows that you can still have a good time and win the game. That's proper management. Is getting everyone in the game, right? And then when the score gets close, you put your good players back in again and you create a lead. And then you schedule a couple of pillow fight games against, the Seventh-day Adventist school or whatever it is, so that you can play the scrubs the whole game.
Mhm.
And if the parents are complaining, why isn't my kid playing against the good team? It's like, well, we have games for your kid. Don't worry. He's going to get so much burn. He's going to need new sneakers after.
Well, I mean, dude, your kid, though, your 6'5", 230, 12-year-old is likely going to be in some like traveling serious program where they actually care about winning.
Yeah, but I
If
know.
he signs up for the, Ray's Pizza Falcons and he's playing third base, like I think on that team, everybody should play the same amount.
No, it's the school team where he's playing the same amount.
They don't have a school team yet, though, until I guess maybe, I don't know.
In 6th grade, 7th grade, they do. In our town.
Really?
Yeah.
They have a school
The
team?
town where we've settled, where we've put down roots.
Is that a thing in general?
7th grade? You didn't have a school team in 7th
Middle
grade?
school, yes, but not elementary.
Well, so where's the cutoff for you there?
Oh, interesting. Okay, so middle school for us started in 7th grade, not in 5th.
Yeah, we didn't have a 6th grade team, but we did have a 7th grade team,
All right.
7th and 8th.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so that's where the coach is going to be the fucking math teacher
Right.
who, needs the $2,000 that the school is paying him to coach, but doesn't care and is applying weird statistics concepts because he thinks he watched, Moneyball enough times.
Yeah, I cringe a bit thinking back about some of our coaches who were like, took it really seriously. Were like, but I guess, at the high school level, it can be fairly serious.
High school, you can get good coaches. Middle school,
You know what I'm saying? Like the coaches were still like the teachers a lot of the time, though.
in high school?
Yeah. And some of them were like, they just thought that they were like fucking, Roy Williams or whatever. Like,
Exactly.
and it was annoying. It's like, you're not, dude.
It is annoying. We
You're not Roy Williams.
were blessed. We had a savant lacrosse coach.
He was good.
Well, that was part of the reason why I transferred high schools because I
Mm.
wanted to play. I needed to play for this guy. And because I played for this guy, he molded me
Interesting.
into a player who could then go play in college.
Yeah, our tennis coach was really good because he had me on the team. Not even joking.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah, it was. My brother was also really fucking good too. So like for like 7 years, it was like a super dominant program.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's good. Did you guys win any state championships?
Like it didn't really work that way. I got to the state finals individuals, and I lost in a 3-setter against a kid who I'd never won a set against, and I won the first set. Kind of ran out of gas. At the
How
end.
old were you?
Senior.
And how old was that kid?
A senior as well. And we both. It was the only. So I got one match away from making the all-state team in junior year, and I missed it. So senior year, I felt like a lot of pressure. I was really stressed out about it, but we won the conference every year. And I won the conference title a couple of years. And we were pretty solid. But high school tennis isn't super competitive.
Did you get all state or you did?
Mm-hmm.
First team?
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bro. Did that kid go on to play in college?
He did, yeah. He played for like a smaller program, but like for tennis, it's weird because like some like lesser programs can have really good individuals. So,
Oh, sure.
So it's kind of like a lot about depth and a team could have a really nasty kid and be a bad team still. So like that guy was a solid player, but I don't know that he cared that much about tennis. He was just like a pretty good athlete. He's a cool dude too, actually.
Oh, you keep up with him?
No, but I remember him just being like a super cool dude.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then one of the guy who I lost to the year before, I'm actually very good friends with still. This guy Gustavo.
Wow.
We used to teach together in college randomly.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Pretty sweet.
Man, back to my son. We need him to play a lot in school because the chicks are coming to those games. That's where it will bolster his social standing.
Well, in school, for a school team, it's competitive for real. So agreed. I do.
Girls
agree.
aren't coming to watch him play Ray's Famous Pizza.
No, but Ray's Famous Pizza, I was referring to like Little League. But you, dude, absolutely. In a school, it's competitive now. It's like the real thing. So
Yeah,
you have to play your best players.
You might have.
You have to try to win.
You might have the Halloween dance the night after my son Turtle scores 4 goals against the rival private school across the tracks. We're putting them in public, but if they don't start keeping up with the reading program at the private school, we'll probably switch him. But for now, that's where he is, and he nets 4 goals, including the game winner. They win 4-3 against.
Is this soccer or lacrosse?
Yeah, soccer in the fall because it's Halloween.
Yes.
And then the next, that's Friday. That's the Thursday night game.
Okay.
The Thursday afternoon after school game. And then on Friday, he's got the Halloween dance. And because of how fresh it is in all the chicks' minds that he was just out there, scoring towering headers because he's twice as tall as everyone. We started him on the HGH pretty early. Now all the chicks are coming up and slow dancing with him. They're slow dancing with him now. And he is kind and willing.
What is he being for Halloween? Is he being Top Gun or whatever? Tom Cruise in Top Gun 2?
That's a good question. This is probably 32.
Is he being Will Byers?
No, it's not 2032. It's like 2038.
Oh, so he could be yeah. Who knows who he'll be being?
2022. Yeah, it's probably 2038.
He'll be being Bronny.
Yeah, that's not bad. Bronny James, and he's wearing a throwback jersey because his career's over.
That's a scary thought.
Nomar Garcia Parra and Mia Hamm's daughter, who's just finished her 3rd World Cup.
Is that true?
I have no idea. I don't know. I think they have twins. I'm saying I don't even know.
Those kids will be old by then.
You're probably right.
Dude, I remember those middle school dances. They were really high stakes. I actually don't. I need to ask her if she remembers this. I don't talk to her much, but I wanted to ask this girl, Kirby Grass, to dance with me.
Kirby Grass?
For all of middle school. And
even the name just gets me going.
I may or may not have finally asked her on the last day, on the last dance, but I may not have. I may have never asked her to dance.
You got the courage?
I don't know that I did. I actually don't remember.
Way I like to think about it.
I think maybe.
Me knowing you as well as I think I do. First team All-State tennis. Yeah, you're not passing.
No, this is before. But I mean, even then though. But this was like 7th and 8th grade though, and then she went to a private school for high school, so she was gone.
Classic.
Sadly. This was all middle school, and I don't think that I ever ended up. I don't remember, but she was my sort of golden goose.
Your golden goose. She probably wore golden goose sneakers too. Going to private school as she did, rich bitch.
She may currently be wearing them.
Yeah, those ratty, dumb sneakers that are $600.
Yeah,
they beat them up to make them more expensive.
Yeah, they're not that. They're not
I hate
that
those.
cool. I don't like
I
them
hate
either.
those sneakers. Stupid. You know those sneakers, Golden Goose? No.
They're silly.
They got stars. They're dumb.
Dudes, we have a good email that I think we can get into
I'm
here.
starting to get a little insulting here.
Yeah, we'll cool you off here, and we'll.
Yeah, I'm getting all mad about Kirby Grass. What kind of name is that? Is her dad a fucking landscaper?
Dude, let's
Or a
remember,
weed
she
dealer?
didn't do anything to me, dude.
Well, you know,
we don't need to. I appreciate
she left to good public school.
She left to go to a better school.
Yeah, and then what happened?
She's done well. I think she's done quite well.
Fell down the
for that.
rabbit hole of prescription drugs, which happens at private schools in rural Connecticut. You know, they start them young. It's a slippery slope. Kirby Grass went to Kirby Pill Popper. Should have stuck with the grass.
She did not. I think she's
would have been just not a gateway drug, but pleasant pastime.
Keep continue.
You're the one who used her real name. I wouldn't have known anything about this lassie. Kirby Grassy.
That's good.
Okay.
Okay. This is called a German work problem.
Okay.
Dear Oops the P, this has a bit of urgency, so I hope you find it worthy of the pod and able to be addressed soon, please. Greetings from Hamburg, Germany. Thanks for all that you do. The bi-weekly episodes give me regular doses of my years in NYC, like I'm having a Negronski with the guys.
Dankeschön.
Or dodging or embracing strange interactions on the subway. Moreover, your self-awareness and introspection make me a more mature boyfriend, considerate friend, and thoughtful citizen. Thank you, kind sir.
Wiedersehen. Yeah.
Very nice. Truly, thank you for the laughs and wisdom. For almost 2 years, I've worked at a tech startup bankrolled as a corporate venture of a bigger company. And I recently accepted a job offer for a new industry in a new location. I just submitted my resignation and have a 3-month notice period. As part of my compensation package for my current position, the company pays for a flight home once per year up to 1,500 euros. I haven't used my flight for this year yet, and I have a wedding in August to travel home for, but am I a major turkey for asking to use this perk while I'm already heading out the door? Part of me feels like this is a benefit that I am entitled to and should use and not have any hesitations in asking to use it. On the other hand, the CEO is a bit crushed by my departure on a personal and professional note, as we had the classic startup friends yet colleagues vibe across the company, so I feel guilty asking. What would you do?
Okay.
It's pretty good.
That is good. It's a good question. And the first thing I have to ask is, he said they have a 3-month notice period.
It appears that that's the arrangement.
You let them know you're quitting and you have to continue working for 3 months. Is that for real?
I don't know if that. It sounds as if that's just like the arrangement. I don't think that like he begrudgingly is working.
No,
for
I know
3
that's
months.
crazy, dude. That's so much time.
Oh.
Okay, so if that is the case, then I think there's no problem whatsoever utilizing your company perk, because 3 months' time is so much time to be required to continue working. You're still a full-blown employee.
Right.
Okay, if that's the case, right?
Right.
Now, that's sort of a side door answer.
In theory, totally. But I do also understand, and I don't know that I understand this well, because for me, like I don't have any quote business dealings for the most part that don't involve some level of like human interaction. There's no like HR protocol standing in between me being personally involved with most of the people I work with.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand it's like I'm quitting, but I'm still gonna expense this thing when my CEO, who I'm friends with, who's crushed that I'm leaving, sees it. And like, I get the idea that that would be awkward. Now, I don't know if that's the right way to feel. And maybe if I worked in this world, I would understand it better. Do you hear what I'm saying?
I do.
I don't really
get
know.
It's, look, it's pretty simple. It's business, not personal. Right?
Yeah.
I don't care unless you are a co-founder and all that. I assume this guy's leaving for a better job, right? He made the decision already.
It's a corporate venture of a bigger company too, so it's like being funded.
Yeah, you're leaving, and you're not going to be the last person to leave. And make this founder feel bummed out that people are leaving his company.
Yeah, and you could argue that that's a little unprofessional too. It's like you found a better opportunity. Like, he doesn't own you, and while you're friends yet colleagues, you can remain friends still.
Yes,
albeit not colleagues any longer.
You can take the friend out of the colleague. You can take the colleague out of the friend, but not the friend out of the colleague. Something like that.
No.
You get what I'm saying.
This was a good question though.
Yeah, it's professional etiquette. I as far as using the flight, yeah, I think it's perfectly allowable. You know,
Yeah,
that's one of the
I
perks
agree.
of the company. You've worked there long enough, you deserve it.
Right. And is the CEO even looking at that stuff? Like, don't you guys have somebody else doing that? I don't. It's unclear how small the operation is. But
Sounds like they are because the CEO. It sounds like the CEO thinks they're better friends than they actually are.
well, but
He's probably keeping a very close eye on what that guy's doing.
It's I don't know, man. Like it seems part of my compensation package, the company put. I'm not really sure. But I do agree with Francis. I think that you can still take the flight. You know, like it's part of the thing.
Yeah, in the same way that if you had a week left, you gave your 2 weeks notice, and you had 10 vacation days to use. People often ask, well, should I just use these for the remaining 2 weeks? Is that frowned upon? And it's like, well, are you really going to work hard for those last 2 weeks after giving your 2 weeks notice? Does anybody?
Probably not many.
No, most people
Not
just
most.
mail it in.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I don't know. By the way, I just accidentally tickled Ryan's toes
Oh,
as I was reaching down for
I
my
wondered
water
what
bottle.
happened there. Something scandalous.
It just seemed like very up Ryan's alley of comedy.
Yeah, he likes that kind
So
of stuff.
accidentally tickling someone's toes.
Gotta be careful with Ryan. You tickle him once, he'll make a lot of assumptions.
But dude, there are certain things in the corporate world that are kind of like they're stated as one thing, but there's a reality as to what redemption looks like. Like companies where you have unlimited vacation time. It actually makes you take less vacation.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Because you have your responsibilities, and yeah, you can take vacation as much as you want, assuming that you can like execute your duties still, and sometimes your duties require you to be present.
Right.
Right. I don't know. So yeah, I think it took us a lot of sort of examining the different things, but we think you can take the flight.
Yeah, go ahead, take that flight.
This is funny. He goes, P.S. I look forward to submitting a formal application to be part of the organizing committee for International Guides Day.
Ah, good. We need a German ambassador.
He goes, while I'm not tall, I make up for my vertical deficiencies with gumption and thickness.
Oh, a gumpster.
He sounds a gumpster. He sounds like a potential good candidate.
Yeah, he sounds like a stump.
He sounds like a good time.
Sounds like a human thumb.
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good email there. Deutsches Bier. Das Bestes.
Dude, you told me the other day that you've been drinking a lot.
Yeah.
So what gives?
I've I don't know, man. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Something about it in the summer where I'm not worried.
Right.
I'm like, it doesn't bother me that all of a sudden I look back and I've had, 7 days in a row of boozing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, the booze is everywhere. It's around. People are outside. Let's go get drinks. Let's have a beer. It's beautiful out. A nice cold Cocker Spaniel. Start drinking earlier in the day because it's kind of daytime all the time. So there's no point in waiting for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
If it's light until 8:39, nobody wants to wait until it's dark to have a drink.
Right. Very true.
Yeah,
there's just so much, it's amazing what you're describing because it really is a thing. Like you can just drink sort of in a way that somehow you don't always feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah. I think Tuesdays become Wednesdays and Wednesdays become Thursdays.
Right.
And then the weekend, there's not even a thought that you're going to take one night off.
Right.
No, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's sort of like every time I'm about to do something reckless, I'm like, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I am.
You're fine.
And the other thing too is like a lot of my kind of ailments and injuries go away during the summer because of like my body is lubricated by the humidity.
Lubed up.
So my body doesn't hurt. And I just feel good in general. And I have no problems kind of letting her rip a little bit.
Splish, splash, Kirby Grass.
Splish, splash, Kirby Grass, jump back in the bath.
Yeah. Ooh.
Had a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Here we go, dude.
I love that. What's, what are, I also find, by the way, there's this strange phenomenon that I experience in the summer where I'll drink a lot, but I won't eat very much.
That's interesting.
I just skip meals because I'm drinking.
So are you even going to fit into your summer suit? You're almost like the Christian Bale of comedy. Dude,
No,
as far as body transformations.
I've lost. I am. It's gonna hang off.
You're
me
emaciated
already.
You've lost weight.
Oh God, yeah. Can you not tell?
You're like less pumped up, but you don't.
Yeah.
But you look the same.
My face is. It goes down in the face too.
I can't really tell as much.
Everything gets a little deflated. I'm gonna be just a little. I'm a smaller boy now.
How much weight have you lost?
I don't know.
10 pounds?
No.
Less than that?
Yeah.
7? 5?
Probably like 5 pounds. But it's all, it's more mass than that. I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
But dude, I mean, think about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go out to the beach for the weekend,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And you wake up in the morning hungover. Everyone's getting their stuff together to get to the beach. You grab your sandals. Who's got sunscreen? Spike ball net.
Mm-hmm.
Are we getting a keg or we should just do cases of beer? Okay, right? Where are you? Maybe you go to the beer store on the way to the beach with your pals, right?
Okay.
And at best, you're like, God, I need to eat something. So you pick up a Luna bar from the cashier.
Luna bars are great, dude.
You get a Luna bar from the cashier.
Lemon one.
You know what I really like are those perfect bars, the peanut butter perfect bars.
Are those the like nothing but the ingredients on them?
No, that's something else.
Oh, like Zone Perfect?
No, they're called perfect bars. You'll see them. They're good.
Right.
Yeah, I love these perfect bars. You gotta keep them in a refrigerator.
I've maybe had one once or twice. They are good.
They're good.
Yeah.
Well, so you eat a bar for breakfast, and then you're on the beach and you start drinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drinky poo, cocky poo, dizzy bat. Someone pours a drink down your gullet. You're a pelican. Whatever, right? Next thing you know, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, you haven't had lunch.
Ugh.
You've really not had breakfast.
I don't do well on those kind of days.
You're swimming, you're drinking, you go home, you're fucked up. Maybe you go take a nap. You wake up, it's dinner time. You sneak a little chicken finger off the table of the girls that you're saying hi to, your friends. Does anyone want some fries? A couple of fries. That's dinner. That's dinner.
Right.
You're not grabbing a handful of salad.
I like figure out a way to eat in these situations, but I hear you. And the reason is I don't do the day drinking situation on the beach well, dude.
Nor do I.
If the sun is hitting me and I'm drinking, like it's a recipe for disaster for me.
Lovely
I
to
just feel like shit.
get a cold beer out of the cooler and have it be hot within 3 minutes.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you. I'm not but this does happen.
No,
and some
totally.
version of this. You could be on a boat. You could be
Absolutely.
just places around water. You're not eating that much.
Yeah.
You're not wearing a shirt. You don't really want to eat,
Mm-hmm.
etc. You go out at night. You just kick it back into gear. Shots.
Yeah. Geez.
Couple of vodka sodas, splash of pineapple juice or something ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
right? Next thing you know, bars are shutting down. Late night, you go grab a whole pie, bring it back to the house. Everyone grabs a slice. You got one slice. You've had a ton of liquid calories, but you haven't had a whole lot of food.
Yeah.
And that's your day. You had a power bar. You had 2 chicken fingers and 4 French fries, and you had a slice of pizza. That's your summer Saturday meal for the whole day. And then you wake up on Sunday, you're dehydrated, you get to the beach again, and that's when your body looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, oh, I like this. I don't want to eat more than this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I understand it conceptually.
Has that?
I'd never be in this situation. I can't handle like a full weekend of like wake up and drink. I just cannot do it. I can drink on consecutive days, but not like I wake up hungover and start again. I like don't operate that way, unfortunately.
What do you do in the morning hungover?
I won't go to the thing. I won't go to the beach.
How do you get your life back together? What's Julio's fit the pieces back together, kind of gentle resuscitation in the morning type routine?
It depends what we've been doing. You know what I mean? If it's like if we just had like a big night, then I don't know, just chill. Just like chill, just hang around, not going. Maybe go to lunch, but then like going home, I'm like, ooh, I need to chill again. And
Are
then just,
you-
like chill?
Are you having drinks at lunch?
No.
Really?
Yeah. I don't do hair of the dog. It like, doesn't really work. For
Man,
me. Yeah.
we gotta kick you into gear,
I
pal.
know, dude. Yeah.
It's time to start drinking.
My stamina, I don't have the like drink all day stamina. It's fun. I can enjoy drinking during the day, of course, but I don't have that. Like, it's going to be a big weekend. Get up. We're going to start drinking. I like, don't do that.
Wow.
It's-
Okay.
You know, I just can't handle it, bro. I can't hack it.
Well, sometimes, by the way, I don't go into the weekend, beating the drum.
I know.
It just
I'm not
finds
criticizing
me.
you.
It just
Yeah.
catches up to me. All of a sudden, you just find yourself in a mosh pit.
Yeah. You're good about the Sunday turn up too. Like if I were to do the Sunday turn up when I'm expecting to like have to do things on Monday, as you would say, I would just be shattered. I'd be doing Monday what I should have been doing Sunday.
Right.
And Tuesday's my best day of the week, by the way.
Yep.
Tuesday's my big day.
Juju Tuesdays.
Tuesday, I am honed in the zone, feeling positive, space in the brain to think and push my objectives forward. Monday's completely hopeless and sad.
What do you have this summer that you have to think about? Do you have some big things?
No, I don't know if I call them big things, but I mean, I have like, just some road stuff. I'm working on these videos.
Yeah.
We'll get it. We'll talk a little bit about that in the next episode. But yeah, I'm going to do this one. I have to start editing this stuff soon.
Uh-huh.
And that'll be challenging, but it'll eventually get done. And then I'm intending to shoot more of them in early September. And I need to start planning that.
Nice.
And that kind of stuff just requires a lot of brain power because, you have to think you're the only brain working on it. It's a small operation. The guy who does it with me helps too, but like, it's up to me to sort of like decide what we're going to do, where we're going to go, how we're going to do it, what the story's going to be. And while we're on these trips, it becomes exhausting to constantly be thinking of like, okay, what's the angle? How should we shoot this? When should we start shooting? Oh, we need to make sure we get that. Let's go back and get that without making it too inorganic. You don't want to like stage stuff. So like this whole process made me realize that it would be nice to have just like one extra brain on deck. One extra brain on deck because Zach, who's filming, has to focus on filming. He can't be thinking about, is the sound rolling?
Right.
Why don't we try this? Watching the footage at the end of the night to make sure we didn't fuck anything up because we're just so tired. So like that kind of stuff. That's my brain. That's where my brain power goes toward.
I see.
What about
Gotcha.
you?
No, I mean, nothing crazy. Just I guess thinking a lot about the wedding and
Yeah.
and the honeymoon and the gorillas. I do spend a lot of time thinking about
Oh, yeah.
the gorillas.
Dude, it's going to be crazy.
Well, I just wonder if what they're thinking about. What's on their mind? Is it sort of just eat bamboo and walk around?
Hang out.
Is that it?
No, but they like socialize and stuff and
Yeah.
they hang out the way that like, it almost reminds me of like a barbecue. They're just like chilling. You know what I mean? They're chilling, they're eating, the kids are playing, like it seems like they have a pretty chill.
Pretty good life.
It seems cool to me. Yeah.
Pretty good life.
That'll be quite the trek.
I can't wait to see them, and I hope they like me. I think they're gonna. I think they'll recognize that I'm one of them.
I don't know that they will, dude.
I think they'll know in the same way that children very quickly recognize in me an ally.
Yeah, really?
Yes, they certainly do. I speak to them on their terms. I'm one of them.
Your classic sort of Francis technique may not work with the gorillas though, which is sort of the like, hey, Nate Diaz, funny story. This is how you break the ice.
Uh-huh.
And then you tell him sort of like a personal story about how somebody did so-and-so. And then he reacts. And then you forge a bond for the night.
Right.
By the way, did you do that?
With Nate Diaz?
Yeah.
I thought you knew, given the way that you said it, because that's exactly what happened. We were across the table. Nobody was really talking to each other. And I said, hey, Nate. And he looked up and then everyone went quiet. And I said, oh boy,
Oh, this better be good.
this better work out. And I told him the story about the time I got beat up by the lobsterman in
Yep.
Maine.
Yep.
And he laughed.
I knew this, by the way.
Oh, you did? I told you this?
You didn't tell me though.
Did Shane tell you that?
Somebody told me this, and it's funny.
Oh, it must have been Ian Fidance.
Even Finance.
Yeah.
But he wasn't saying it. He wasn't throwing shade.
No.
He was just explaining the night. But he did explain that the stakes were immediately raised when you decided to do this.
Yeah, I took him on.
And then he sort of paused before reacting very, very positively to the story. So everybody was kind of like drum roll waiting for whether or not he passed or rejected you.
Yeah.
And you were embraced.
Listen, man. Here's the thing, right? It's like, what do I have to lose there? If he doesn't like that I've told that story to him, or tried to say something to him that isn't annoying to him. It's not like I'm asking for a picture. I'm not.
It's risky though. It's risky in that context.
It might be.
If you're like being brought into a group setting by friends, and if somehow that goes horribly wrong, they now are like, okay, this very famous person's going to be here. We can't invite Francis because he's a wild card.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, it's one of my best stories. I told it quickly. I told a short version of it. I knew I didn't have much time.
I'm not doubting your.
No, I know, but like I did go into that moment knowing the stakes and knowing where the ropes were. And I wanted to get in and out, couple funny jokes. That's my story. What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
And he seemed to like it. And I'll tell you what, man, you
guys were boys after that.
It certainly felt like people were gravitating towards me a little bit for the rest of that evening.
I love it.
I connected with all of his buddies. I had a great time. Yeah, we know that. We all know that story.
That sounded like a fun time. But yeah, dude, like I wonder how you're gonna do it with the gorillas. You can't just be like, "Hey, Gilbert." I just pictured the gorilla having like alliteration. Gilbert,
I know.
Hey, Gilbert. So it's funny. This one time,
if I start making faces at them or trying to make the sounds that they make,
they might think that you're trying to flex, and then they might rip you in half.
You think they'll think I'm making fun of them?
You're supposed to be really deferential to the alpha male to show that you're not a threat.
That's fine. I stopped taking creatine, so I don't think he's gonna think I'm trying. Speaking of pythons, by the way, did you see that they found the largest python on record in Florida?
Yeah, I've been hearing about this, the invasive species in the Everglades.
And it had like 120 eggs in it or something.
So dude, it's so crazy that you're bringing this up. I heard about this for the first time like a few days ago. And since then, like 5 different people have brought this topic up to me. And I think it's one of those things that we've talked about. Like you hear about something for the first time and suddenly you're hearing all about it. Unless it's like a brand new story that it was in like the New York Times or something and everyone's talking about it.
No, yeah. I think it went a little, it's a viral, it's a story that captures people's attention.
Yeah.
I don't really love the idea of a python so large, that it's probably swallowing sheep.
Or your car. Yeah, dude. So apparently they said that the one hope that they have, because they've been trying to get rid of them and it's just nothing's working. But apparently like the cougars and the Everglades have figured out that when the pythons leave the nest, they can eat their eggs.
Oh.
So that could be something good.
Good.
For controlling the population.
Good cougar.
That's like the only hope.
Good cougars, yeah.
Good cougar.
Ryan, do you have any facts for us? Something tells me that you do. We've got Facts with Ryan, folks, where we learn why we're wrong and where we're wrong.
Okay.
And then some.
So, to confirm, top grading college is an A, 93 to 96. The Middle Eastern
Hold on a second. There's no 97 to 100?
Not on the 4.0 scale.
Okay.
The Middle Eastern long shirt that you were talking about is called a kurta.
Cool.
That's good.
That's good to know.
Good.
Yeah.
Taylor Gray plays the boy in 2012's Thunderstruck.
It's not Taylor Lombardo?
No, I didn't see any Lombardo on the.
What the fuck?
On
Did I
the
make
cast
something
list.
up? I wonder if he changed his name.
I wonder.
Got a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Not good. Not good.
As far as eating less during the summer, in the summertime, our appetite tends to be reduced, especially when we're feeling hot. One reason for this is that the body tries to regulate our body temperature by cutting down on heat-generating functions like the digestion of food.
Wow. That's very good.
And then this new python that you just mentioned is 215 pounds.
Oh my God.
The heaviest before that was found in 2016 at 140 pounds.
Oh my
man.
God.
That's
It's a
crazy.
huge
That's a big
difference.
leap.
And then lastly, the Blue Book is manufactured by Roaring Spring Paper Products.
That's excellent, Ryan.
Appreciate it, Ryan.
That's excellent.
Julio, do you have anything fun that you could tell the crowd about?
I am in Somerville, Massachusetts at the Crystal Ballroom.
I've heard that place is great.
Really?
Yeah.
It's great to know. July 24th. It's going to be a great show. Matt Pavich is going to be coming with me too. And we're really excited. Tickets are on my website. Would love to see you there. July 28th, I am at the Crocodile in Seattle.
Awesome. Very good. I'll be at the Arlington Draft House this weekend, Friday and Saturday, in the Washington, D.C. metro area. Can't wait for that. Love that club. Hope to see many of you there. And then I'm at St. Louis Helium with Lil Sass. Harry, Lil Sass from the Yak and Barstool Sports, all that. The following weekend, July 28th to the 30th. Tickets. Oh, and then Red Bank, New Jersey, August 10th. Tickets for all of that, francisellis.com. Thank you, guys. That's Oops the Podcast. Enjoy your summer.